Well, hello students. This is Professor Krause, and I will be your professor for Intro to Christianity. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the course, kind of explain to you how the course is going to work, how to access different things throughout this session, and introduce myself. So I've taught this course about 5 years. This is probably my 12th time or so teaching this course, and so I'm excited to have you here in the spring 2026. And so let's jump right in and explain. I'm going to walk through the syllabus, point out some things in the course, and that way we are all as prepared as possible for this course, all on the same page. Now, this video and what you're watching here is for both the hybrid, which are the in-person students, and the online students. And I will reference the differences in the course when it's needed. So to start out, for those of you who are hybrid students, meaning you have a classroom you have to go to once a week. We have class. Our class is going to be in Deeds 105. It's going to be the bottom level of Deeds Hall. And then it's going to be on Wednesday mornings, 9:30 to 10:45 a.m. My office hours for students are they're online office hours, so you got to email me, let me know if you want to meet or talk about anything, discuss anything. Those are going to be on Tuesdays from 12:30 to 2 o'clock p.m. In this syllabus here, you got the course descriptions, you've got the course delivery and methods, you got the course learning outcomes, meaning by the time the course ends, this is what I'm hoping to accomplish. And then you got the resources. For all students are going to need a Bible. You don't have to buy a Bible. You can download it on your phone. You can bring it up on your laptop. Whatever translation works just fine, but you're going to need a Bible. You're also going to need 3 books. You're going to need Tim Keller's The Reason for God. There's a hardback, paperback, and Kindle version. You can use any of them. They're all fine. You've got C.S. Lewis' Mere Christianity. Now, if you do not want to buy the physical copy of this book, then you can find an online PDF for free. And you can just type in C.S. Lewis Mere Christianity open source, and it should bring up a free PDF. And then you got John Stott's Basic Christianity. Each of these books do a different thing well, and so that's why we have 3 textbooks or 3 books we're going to be using the course. And over the course of the 7 weeks, you're going to end up reading the greater majority of each of these books. You're going to start getting tested on your reading as of week 2, so you want to make sure to go ahead and get these books. You can find them over here as you see your online bookstore, or you can go on somewhere like Amazon and find them. Here are your course requirements. You're going to be able to find your course requirements each week when you log in here to a class. Right here on the overview page, it's going to show you at the bottom coursework. This is what is due this week. But if you want to access the course, like all work, you can click on coursework over here, and it's going to show you all of your assignments. You can click on it. You're going to notice something. As you see here on the left side of the screen, you've got very straight to the point instructions on the assignment. But each assignment, when you click on it, for example, reading quiz, it's going to give you that example here. It's going to bring up and give you more detailed instructions. And so each time you click on an assignment, it'll tell you exactly what to do. The main part of it's going to be found right here in the syllabus, but they wanted us to reduce how much our description is, and so we've done that. So you're going to have reading quizzes each week based on the assigned reading, which we're going to talk about in a second. That's why you're going to need your books. 3 to 4 questions. They're going to be open from Thursday until Sunday. Once they close on Sunday, they're closed. So make sure you get that knocked out each and every week. So you're going to have 4 days to take it. Interaction papers. Interaction papers is an opportunity for you to show me that you can think well about an idea, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. And so each week you're going to have a topic or chapters from your reading that you are assigned, as you can see here on the syllabus, and you must agree, further reflect, or disagree with the ideas you find there. Your grade is not going to be based on whether or not you agree the same as me. I want to see how you can formulate an argument, agree and disagree with, evidence, a good argument if you are going to disagree or agree. So each week you have chapters of a book that's from your reading, that's going to be the topic. You can choose anything in those chapters. So for example, here, book 1, chapters 3 through 5, there are lots of different ideas found in those chapters, and there might be one or two one that you really agree with, one you disagree. So don't just merely summarize. The easiest way to get a 50 on these papers and have to redo them is to just summarize what you read. Like, I read the same thing as you did. You ain't got to tell me what's there. I know what's there, but what do you agree or disagree with? So those are going to be submitted each week. As you see, you just click on this right here, like, for example, what is truth, and then you upload a file that you've saved. All right? Then you got to interview. Interview and paper. This is one of your larger, lengthier assignments. It's just one paper. If you go down here to week 6, when it's due, you're going to see more detailed explanation, including you must use the interview sheet, which I'll show you in just a moment. You must use the interview sheet that I've provided because it's like the framework that I want the paper to be written as. Now, for this interview, you're finding someone of a different religious or worldview, different background, and you're going to interview them. I give you 4 questions, which you'll find on the interview sheet. You are going to have to come up with 4 other questions. Make sure they're not yes or no questions because people will just give you a yes or no answer, and you need more than that. So this assignment has 2 main parts. The first part is you're going to give a summary of their answers. You do not have to word for word write out everything they say. In many cases, that would be way too long and your paper would be too long. Instead, you're going to take their ideas, summarize the main points, and that's going to be part 1 of each question. Part 2 of the question is you're going to interact with their beliefs from your own worldview. So if someone says something that you really agree with, you're going to point out the agreements. If someone says something you disagree with, you're going to show how your beliefs cause you to believe something different and where you think they're wrong. Okay? So you're going to be doing that. 4 questions are given to you. 4 you have to come up with. 3 to 4 pages single-spaced. And let's see here. Let me show you. If you go to your resources, this is where you're going to find all your lectures for in-person and online students. Every week you have lectures you're going to have to watch. But at the very, very bottom, you're going to find a writing rubric, which you're going to be graded on, how well you write based on the writing rubric for the assignments. Sample interaction paper. If you're kind of wondering what do these papers look like, here's a sample. And then finally, look right here when we get to student interview sheet. The person you're interviewing, age, what is their worldview, how do you know them, and then you got 4 questions. These first 4 questions are like the 4 main questions of life. You're going to ask them a question, summarize their answer, interact with it. Then you've got 4 more here that you are going to do on your own. Interview and paper. It's going to be due week 6. Now, when you, the final assignment is going to be your final exam, which is going to be open Wednesday to Sunday of the final week of class. And it's going to be a comprehensive final exam taken from all of your, the readings the lectures that you're going to be watching each and every week. And then here is a course schedule. I apologize. There's one more thing I want to point out. For those of you who are online students, because you are not going to be coming into class each week, then you are required to do a participation assignment, and it's in your syllabus. This syllabus is for the in-person students. For those of you who are online, what you're going to have to do each week, you're going to watch your lectures, and then you're going to go over here to discussions, and there's going to be a discussion forum. And each week, this will be opened up for you, and you're going to have to write 200 to 300 words by Thursday on those lectures. And then between Friday and Sunday, you're going to have to interact with 2 other people's posts with agreement, disagreement, those sorts of things. So that is going to be your requirement. You must do that to pass the class. If not, you will be dropped For those of you who are in-person students, you must show up to class or you'll be dropped from the course. Here's a reading key with the initials for each one. Notice there's the Bible, chapters in the Bible, chapters from different books based on what we're looking at each and every week. You've got those found here. Goes all the way through the end of the course. So for those of you who are in-person students, kind of tells you what to expect when you get to class each week. Here is how much your course is graded based on the different assignments, what it's worth. What you can expect from me when it comes to interaction and communication, course attendance. AI is very important. It doesn't apply that much in this class because there's really no place for you to use AI because everything is more of an opinion paper. Your interaction papers are your opinion based on what you read. The interview is someone else's opinion and then you interacting with that idea. And then, of course, on the final exam, you should not be using AI for anything because you're taking the exam and you're not allowed to use any other resources. So AI, but here's kind of the guidelines for that. You can use Grammarly. Grammarly is a great resource, except on your final exam. What happens if you break, plagiarism and things like that? Here's a description. And then you got a final bibliography. And so this bibliography gives you some additional reading if you feel like you want to continue reading on after this course. So that's sort of this course in a nutshell. We're going to be talking more and more each week. I'll have weekly announcements that will kind of keep you knowing what is coming next. But other than that, yeah, just go ahead and, once you watch this video and stuff, you'll kind of be familiar with what to expect, the assignments each week. Go ahead and get your books as soon as possible. And if I can help you in any way throughout the course, don't hesitate to reach out. God bless and look forward to doing this class with you.